The reproduction of this content is not allowed without the express written consent of EBH Fitness, LLC. We're back.
All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to Week 5, the walkthrough show as we preview Week 5 games.
I got 5 on it.
We definitely had a shakeup in the top 10. Some teams moved up, some teams moved out. But let's get right into it. Let's put out a new top 10. So starting at number 10, Montwood, after those 2 wins, they vaulted themselves into the top 10.
Yep,
man.
earn your way back in.
Definitely. Coming in number 9, we got Parkland High School, 3-1. That loss kind of moved them down, but hey, they still rock and roll.
Solid. They're going to be ready.
Number 8, we got Chapin High School at 2-1.
They got a tough game against Del Valle this week, and that's going to be a game of the week probably for most people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, people are going to see this. Bel Air did move down to 7, but, it happens. It happens. But at 4-0, Bel Air is at number 7.
As far as Bel Air goes, we all know the deal. Everybody's kind of waiting around to district play, and then if things go well in district play first couple weeks, everybody's looking at that Parkland game.
Definitely. Number 6, we got Riverside after that loss. Well, that win. Big win, vaulted them back up into the top 10.
Shows that, that shows they're ready to compete
yes, sir.
For a little run in the playoffs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Number 5, Franklin, after that loss, dropped down from number 2 to 5.
My only word with Franklin is I don't know how healthy they are because word on the street they lost another player. So I don't know. At some point it gets kind of tough.
Definitely. Injuries definitely start coming to play. Then we got at number 4, got Del Valle. Number 4.
The Chapin game is going to tell a lot.
Definitely. Number 3, you got Eastlake at 4-0. I mean, say what you want to, they're undefeated.
Yeah, undefeated. Let them go until, got to beat the man to beat the man.
Definitely. And then number 2, you got Pebble Hills. And then number 1, Eastwood.
Eastwood, of course, they're coming off a bye, so they're going to be fresh and ready to hit people in the mouth. I hear on the street Noah Medina is going to be back in playing that 3 technique or nose guard for them, depending on what they're doing that week. So that's going to be a good boost to that defense.
Definitely. So that's our top 10. Let's look at the schedule. Let's look at these games for this week with the top 10. We got Thursday kicking off. You got Franklin going against Socorro.
Franklin wins.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
I'm not being mean, but y'all know the deal. Franklin wins.
Yep, definitely. So that's the Thursday night game. Then Friday, you got Eastwood versus El Dorado.
Eastwood wins.
Definitely, I agree with you there. Then you got Pebble Hills at Coronado. I'm taking Pebble Hills.
Pebble Hills.
Yeah.
Pebble Hills. Sparta.
Now, here's a game. Eastlake and Americas.
Going to be tough. If Eastlake's going to win this game, they're going to have to fight real hard because it looks like Americas is salty. They're hungry. I'm going to go with, last week I went with Americas with the upset. I like them again this week.
And I'm going to agree with you on this one. I mean, I think it's one of those situations where it's almost like last week where it was a must-win for Americas.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they can afford to go, 1-2 this early in the conference.
They can't lose another game if they want to compete to get in the playoffs.
Then Canyon Teal versus Parkland.
I heard there's some, y'all see how I did that.
Yeah.
I heard there's some injuries floating around out there, and so I like Parkland over Canyon Teal.
I'm going to agree with you on that one.
Yep.
I'm actually going to agree with you on that one.
That's right.
It's tough,
I went
but
7-1 last week.
Now, here's the game of the week for sure. Chapin at 2-1 versus Del Valle at 3-1. Chapin showed me something last week.
They did, no doubt.
They showed me something last week. And it came down to, we said it, I mean, that athleticism and speed, man, I think it's going to be a difference maker for them.
I think so, too. I think we're both leaning the same way. I'm going Chapin.
Yeah.
Chapin with the upset. And it's going to be a close game, but that's going to be a lot of speed on there.
Definitely. And, this might be this week, I think we might have the same picks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Riverside versus Horizon. I'm taking Riverside.
Oh, you want to pick the upset? Okay, I'm going to go with Riverside. Now, I mean, Horizon's getting better, and they're developing. That's going to be a closer game than people think, but Horizon's getting better for sure.
Definitely. Then you got Bel Air versus Jefferson to round out the top 10. I'm gonna ride with Bel Air on that one. And it's no knock against anybody. I mean, it is what it is.
Right. And Jefferson's got that new offense. Bel Air's coming off a tough physical game with Clint last week, but they saw that same kind of offense. So you get 2 weeks at it, you tend to play a lot better. And so I suspect, what's going on down at Bel Air, I think they're going to light it up this week.
Yeah, I'm sitting there and I just happened to, I wasn't paying attention to just now. You wearing that Miners shirt, man. What in the world?
I was just driving the point home. We still, come on, y'all can do it. UNLV, going to be a tough game for the Miners. This is free. But I think the Miners figure out a way to get it done in a close game against UNLV. That's the bonus pick.
I don't agree with that one. I'm sorry. I'm going with UNLV.
All right.
Everybody's going to be mad at me in El Paso, but, I mean, I'm a realist.
All right.
I would go with UNLV. But, folks, that's our top 10. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back to look at some offense and defensive statistic leaders right after this.
Welcome to another season. No, we're not talking about an NFL season. We're talking about another season of taking it to the house. The American arrogance cannot find its way back in basketball.
He asked the nation. He asked anybody who would put a microphone in and anybody who will listen, do you believe?
All right, folks, we are back. We sit here in the green room and talked about the offense and defense. The reality is this. The top players, there was no changes. There was really no changes on the offensive, defensive side. You still got Matthews, Slosser from Mountain View leading the way. Anthony Carrillo from Parkland leading the way in rushing. Jude Blanco is still leading the way in receptions, receiving yards, that is. Tackles, you still Juan Gomez from Parkland leading the way. Sacks, you got Donovan Hunter from Horizon with 7 sacks. Pretty impressive. And then interceptions, I mean, there's 8 kids tied for three interceptions to lead the area. So, I mean, it's all the same. There's really been no big change, but we do want to highlight, we had a young man who will receive the Ford Tough Player of the Week in 5A for the entire state, Chris Davis from Bel Air. Like we said last week, the young man had himself a game. He had himself one heck of a game, and kudos to Mr. Davis there on getting that recognition. See his dad sitting up here trying to be coy and quiet, but I'm sure it's a proud papa moment. It's been a long time since that's happened for Bel Air, I'm sure. Yeah,
it's never happened over at Bel Air, but Chris continues to work hard. Everybody that knows him, he's a kind of a quiet kid, and he just goes and does his thing. He's a team player for sure. If you tell him to run through the wall, he's old school like that. He's going to do exactly what you tell him to do. So if he's on the defensive side and they tell him to make tackles, he's going to do that. If on the offensive side they tell him to block and put somebody on the ground, he's going to do that. And so while the stats, it seems like, wow, who else is doing something? Well, he stays on the field. So not everybody is a two-way player in the city. And so Chris is a two-way player. So you, week in and week out, will see things like that because he's a two-way player. Nothing different, but he's a two-way player. And so at the end of the day, he's really happy about, the teammates, the team, and while it's an individual recognition, you can't do none of that without the team. His coaches out there, and I'm sure he's been hearing from Grandma over in Dallas. So, for him, it's just another piece to the puzzle to see what's going to happen in his future.
Definitely. And so, next week, next week we will release our mid-season. We'll release our front runners for Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and start to put together the information for the banquet that we're going to host to culminate the season. But there's a bit quick down and dirty here for week 5 to get you going, to get ready for the games. But that's all I got, man. You got anything else?
Go Miners.
We'll see you guys on Saturday. Have a good one.